You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Yeah. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Yap about it podcast. Starring Raw Bass. Let's yap about it. Yeah. Let's yap about it. Let go. We in the mix. Fit too savage. Let's yap about it. Bit too savage, savage like music.
We are back again. We are back again. We got a lot to yap about. Man. I just wanted to join y'all, man. Listen, I hope y'all have made it through this cold weather. I hope y'all have made it through this cold weather and have been able to, you know what I'm saying, navigate the storm and whatnot, man. But I had to bring it to you live tonight because I really had something on my mind, and as far as it being Malcolm X and what he brought to the table as far as his expertise and education on what life is. And I really, really want to touch bases with this. And the reason why I want to touch bases with this, because I think that this needs to be said. But give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. I got one thing that I need to do, and just take a pause for the cause, man. Grab you a drink or whatever, but it ain't going to take me but about a minute or so. So y'all tap in. We got a lot to yap about tonight. I am back. I just really had to make an adjustment. I had to bring something up to the forefront. I already know when I bring something to the forefront, I'm gonna make it clear, I'm gonna make it right, and I'm gonna make it precise. So I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight, man. We definitely have a lot to yap about. And the reason why we have a lot to yap about is because I had made some excellent talk points last night, especially when it comes to manhood and men knowing how to deal with manhood. And this subject matter about Malcolm X made me think about black fatigue and what he would think of that right now in 2026. He played a huge, intricate part in how he paved the way as far as what we do as African Americans. But without further ado, I will definitely want to get into the show. Welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast. We're changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for tonight's program. Please subscribe, share, hit the like button to let us know we appreciate you for tuning in. The conversation we're about to have is going to be concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain, entertain, and most of all, explain in detail about what we yapping about. I also want to pay some lovely respect. I'm going to pay some lovely respect also to 8 Ball branded coffee. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. A coffee blend like no other to get your morning started or for an evening nightcap. The coffee beans made from this magnificent blend are from multi-generation harvesters and growers of Kenya. 8 Ball coffee is not only a way to support the community, but also a way to support the environment globally. Don't trip. Take a sip today. It's a blessing. And also, listen, we're going to sip some coffee. Definitely, we're going to sip some coffee, man, for real, for real. But I want to get into tonight's show, and I want y'all to check out some things. A lot of people have talked to me and emailed me about this thing called black fatigue. I think there are a lot of people who confuse black fatigue with people that are just wild, rambunctious, disrespectful, have no regard for human life or any type of social status or socio-economic climate. They just do whatever it is that they want to do. But I want to explain and go into detail about some things about why they are the way that they are. And I'm going to have a little bit of assistance, especially with people like Francis Cress Welsing, who brought an awareness of what epigenetics is and how these things take effect in our daily coming and goings about who we are around in our socioeconomic climate. But I really want to bring up some points, and we're going to do a little bit of high intellectual sparring and whatnot in conversation. But I want to bring up these things. Y'all check this out as I go to the next page. Tonight, I'm going to bring up a couple of talking points. And these are some of the things that were brought to my forefront. We're going to talk about them. We're going to express ourselves. And we're going to also bring a little bit of different element to this episode tonight, because I feel like we're going to be able to open up about some things and address some elephants in the room. But none other, let's bring up this one right here. Y'all check this out, and we're going to have a conversation about it. Check it out.
I will kill y'all ass. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I lay all y'all hoes out. Real motherfucking talk. Y'all fucking with the wrong bitch. I'm so sick of y'all. Stop fucking with me. Y'all not gonna stop fucking with me till I kill somebody around this bitch or lay a hoe out. Tamarcus, you ain't on that. He started riding by. Watch what I do. Bitch, I hit your shit. Real talk, bitch. Knock your shit loose, hoe. Don't fucking play with me, bitch. Don't fucking play with me.
Now check this out.
Just knock his shit. Bitch, don't fucking play with me. I keep telling y'all hoes, stop fucking with me. I don't have no motherfucking common sense in the world.
I'm going to stop it right there. And the reason I'm going to stop it right there is because this is the type of person that I got this email about as far as black fatigue. These people being in the open air around. I'm talking about in restaurants. I'm talking about on the buses. I'm talking about on the trains. I'm talking about on the planes. I'm talking about even at the schools, middle schools, high schools, elementary schools. These are the ones that people are having black fatigue about because they don't have any type of self-awareness. Now, you heard her when she said exactly what she said about her not having no regard for anything or anybody. That person right there is a danger not only to themselves, but a danger to the community. And the crazy part about this is that that type of attitude is seen amongst her peers And it is adapted by the peers because they feel that this is a way of life and a rite of passage and a way of freedom to make everybody understand and for her to express that she does whatever it is that she wants to do. Now, in this type of situation, as she's screaming and she's recording herself in criminal activity, there is nobody in her inner circle. This is how you can understand why I'm breaking these things down the way that I'm breaking them down, is that people like this have no friends that have a logical sense of life or even have a value of life to be able to tell her, nah, sweetie, this not it. Nah, baby girl, you need to find something else to do. Nah, baby girl, you're too obsessed with this particular person to where this person is remote controlling your life and your emotions. That it got you in the middle of a day recording yourself in criminal activity to go and try to hurt and harm or possibly vandalize somebody else's property. But we're going to get to this part and we're going to go in depth about this. Let her keep going.
I don't give a fuck when it come to me. I'll kill you bitches. Real talk. Bitch, you asking for it, so I gave it to your bitch ass. Not the whole motherfucking back bump off, bitch. Don't play with me. So sick of this hoe. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about my car. You damn right my car tore up. Guess what? I'ma tear y'all shit up with this motherfucker. This bitch still gonna be driving and rolling. Ho don't want to see me with shit. That's why he doing the shit he do. Take your bitch ass on.
Now watch this thing. Next thing right here. Check this out.
Bitch, you kiting on me. I'd kill one of you bitches. Real talk. I don't play, bitch. Never play. That bitch shoot! That bitch shooting at me! That bitch is shooting at me! Hell no! Fuck no!
Now I gotta stop it right there. She already doesn't have a sense of awareness. So she also doesn't understand that just because she reacts a certain way doesn't mean that somebody's gonna interact the way that they want to. See, what she did was she campaigned on this type of situation in itself. She brought this upon herself. And now that it has started to level up to where another person takes it up a notch higher than her, she was not prepared for it. And the funny part about this situation is when she says she don't care about nothing, obviously you care now. See, the thing is, and I want to say this to the youth too, everybody not playing. Everybody's not on demon time. Some people are on death time. Sometimes people will eradicate you right there where you stand or right in the moment of you bringing drama to them. See, a lot of times when we don't understand is when we lace our shoes up in the morning and we get ourselves together and we feel like we're going to go on this nobody better fuck with me campaign. There's also some people out there that are 10 times worse than you, that are on that same energy and on that same vibe. And when they bring the pain to your ass, you better be self-aware enough to be able to handle it. Because in this situation, you just went from a I don't care to now you really starting to care. And this is what we talk about when we talk about black fatigue, because guess what? She could not only just put herself in danger of being shot at, she also could have put other babies in danger too. You don't understand. When you bring this type of energy into the world, the universe has what we call is a course correction to where it comes directly back to you. And I'm going to say this time and time again. If you are not prepared for war and you're not willing to die in your beliefs, you need to sit your ass down. You need to be quiet and you need to understand the climate of how this world works. It doesn't work how you want it to work. No matter how much you try to emotionalize with it, it's not going to change anything. The laws of the land have never changed. It's not going to change. The laws of the jungle ain't changed. It damn sure ain't going to change in society when you don't control it. So you can go out here and you can think that you really badass and you can think that you tough, but there's people right there that'll put you dead where you stand and will put you in your place and put you back in place where you belong, because obviously you do care. And in this type of situation, you do care because you went from tough. Now you went to soft. But let's continue.
Let me get away from this bitch. Let me call my mom.
Oh, no. Ain't no gangsters. Gangsters don't call mamas. See, this is what you got to understand. When you put yourself in the belly of the beast and you put yourself in the fire, in the flames, you got to understand that there is a time and a moment that you're going to get burned. See, that's what you call right there a demon. That's a demon right there, because that type of person you don't want raising your kids. That's the type of person that you don't want to be seen in the club with. That's the type of person that you don't want to go into a restaurant with, because that type of person is unhinged. That type of person that gets you shot, that person that gets you hurt real bad, because they don't understand exactly where they are in society. Just because you're a female, and I'm going to say this, and this might piss up a couple of people off. Just because you're a female in 2026 and you feel like you got some type of level of empowerment does not put you over anybody in any other culture, in any race in America, because at the end of the day, they're going to show you exactly what they mean and where you stand at. You was just tough. You was just knocking bumpers off. You was just doing all this, and now you done turned into a bitch. See, it's women out here that's not going to play. Just like that young man that took a pop shot at you to make you understand where he's coming from. There are women out here that are on that same level that's not going to play. They got a lot more to lose than you. Obviously, you ain't got nothing to lose. And some people will do anything and stop at nothing to protect it. So you got a wake-up call at that moment in time. And it's people like this right here who are a detriment to everybody around. Man, this is the type of person I hate seeing coming, because guess what? They'll put you in a situation that you ain't have nothing to do with, don't know nothing about, and it'll put you in an uncompromisable position to where your life is in danger and putting everybody else's life in danger too. Y'all got to be conscious of people like that. But y'all got to understand that if you're going to be of value in this world, you got to be of value to yourself. In order to be taken serious, you got to be serious about yourself. And you can't let no fools like this interfere with your life, especially when it's on the upside, because these type of people will see that you're in the best position possible and will take you down at a moment's notice. Oh yeah. Oh, but there's more. Check out.
Not letting that bitch get beside me, that hoe shooting at me and shit. Hell no. Fuck no. Not finna let no bitch ass nigga do me in. The fuck you thought? Man, somebody come get this bitch.
I want to say this too. What you got to understand is that a car is a weapon. A car is considered a weapon in police enforcement eyes. What you got to realize that car is a weapon. So guess what? When you became destructive, it became a weapon. We just literally seen a woman get shot in her vehicle going away from the officers. So what make you think for a second in 2026, anybody is going to play with somebody inside of a vehicle that's being destructive? So for one, you not self-aware like you said, but for two, you could have died in an instant and guess what? It would have been justified because there is a stand your ground law. There is a stand your ground law that would have put you 6 feet under behind your nonsense and your foolishness. Got to do better. You got to think better. You can't emotionalize everything. And I want to talk to the young ladies too. You cannot emotionalize everything that's going on in your life. You have to apply some logic to it, because the way that we are in 2026, taking losses are not the way that they used to be. See, the losses that you take now in 2026 could set you back 5 to 6 years. So you must understand the significant climate of where we are in this socio-economic. I keep saying that. Socioeconomic status, because when you're costing yourself money and you don't have bailout money, You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Skinner. He used to say that all the time. You better have your bail money. If you ain't got your bail money, man, you putting that responsibility up on the family. You're not supposed to be putting that responsibility up on your family. You're supposed to be able to, whatever dirt that you do and any criminal shit and activity that you do, you're supposed to be able to cover the spread for it. But most of these type of people, guess what? Don't even have groceries in their house. Don't even have a bed that they can lay in. Don't even have anything of substance or of a tangible ability that they can supplement for anything. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the mindset of Malcolm X and black fatigue, of where people are getting tired of being around these type of people, because a lot of them are, I'm going to say it and I'm going to address it as the elephant in the room. Most of the people feel like that your species should just go ahead and die itself out because you don't mean nothing to the culture. You don't mean nothing valuable to the community. So what you doing here for? We don't need you around. You ain't contributing. So what the hell you doing? You wasting time. You are wasting space. You not own your time, you're on God's time. And that's what you got to realize. You can sit here and think that you got all the time in the world to screw up, but you got to remember that everybody has a death date. Everybody has an expiring date. And guess what? If you've played majority in your lifetime and now you're in the later part of your life to where nobody is benefiting you or you can gain anything from it, man, you in the world's of trouble. That's all I'm going to tell you. You in the world's of trouble. But definitely, we're going to move on from this one. I got another one to show you. Check this out.
Why in the fuck did they stop the courthouses on Martin Luther King Day? Nah, y'all ain't understanding what I'm saying. Y'all ain't understanding. Y'all ain't understanding. What the fuck Martin Luther King got to do with me getting sued out? It's a holiday. He had a dream, twin, chill. Who had a dream? Go bail out. I can't bail out, nigga. How many fucking times do I gotta say this shit? I can't bail shoot out. I gotta wait for her to go to court. She got locked up Friday. Shit. Nigga.
I want to take a pause for the cause on this situation right here. You know why so many rappers that disrespect the greats of our time, that paved the way and sacrificed their energy and sacrificed their blood, sweat, and tears, and even their life? It's because they haven't been taught properly. And I'm going to say this too, and this what I'm about to say is very controversial. A lot of these rappers and a lot of these people ain't been checked. I'm going to take y'all back to a long time ago, when you let tethers like DJ Academics come into this game and be able to speak on certain things. I'm very observant of the culture because I am a part of the culture. Shout out to my people out there in Chicago. I don't call it Chirac. I call it Chicago. I used to hang out a lot on the West End. I learned about Chicago through Robert Yummy Zanderford, somebody that was killed by his own gang in Chicago. I'm going to say this, and I don't give a fuck who what you feel about it. I said what I said, and I stand on what I stand on. The moment that Chicago was thriving, especially when the drill scene and the music culture, Zach TV was the only one that was doing the coverage on certain people and different things like that. There was a lot of politics going on, especially between the GDs, also GDK, and a lot of the other associated gangs at that time who were actually being covered when drill music was first being taken off. Zach TV's life was taken. Did he have a respect for the culture? Absolutely. Did he have a respect for the people that was in these different neighborhoods that had who had problems and beefs with certain individuals? Absolutely, he did. But he was killed by the same community that he was shedding light on as far as the music scene, along with Chief Keef and Lil Reese and Lil Durk and GBE and 300 was running around Chicago when it was first taken off. The reason why I say this is because when you let people like DJ Academics, who started proxy wars on both sides and profited to the man that he is today, and nobody did nothing, when you had a person that was the heart and soul of Chicago, Zach TV, was doing it live right there in the culture, right there in the community, and that became accepted, I had a fucking problem with it. So then we have people like these outside tethers who don't understand shit about the culture, that are inspired by the culture, that are influenced by the culture, but they don't really give a fuck about the culture. I got a problem with that. And the reason why I have a problem with that, because it trickles down, because guess what? DJ Academics disrespects a lot of rappers because he feels comfortable to do so. And he's teamed himself with a whole bunch of rats, CIA, government informants, and things like that nature, for them to feel comfortable, for us to feel like it's okay to disrespect the great ones that have paved the way before us. Once I seen him disrespect LL Cool J, I already knew that I would never ever listen to him and take him serious. And the reason why I say that is because of this. How do we let somebody on the outside of the culture be more of an influence on than the people that have paved the way and done things for people on the inside more than the other people on the outside that have profited and benefited from it? Fast forward. The reason why these things happen is because we've allowed these type of things. These type of individuals need to get checked and snuffed right then and there. Let me fast forward to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj had a moment to where she did that song Looking Ass Nigga. I miss nothing. Nicki Minaj did that song Looking Ass Nigga using Malcolm X's image. Go figure who's on the forefront of who I'm talking about now. She did that song Looking Ass Nigga using his imagery. His family said to take it down. She refused to take it down. But the second that she did that video of Young Money that looks like the swastikas, the Jews told her to take it down. And guess what she did? She did it and she took it down in a matter of about 1.5 seconds. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, when you start allowing one motherfucker to do something, you start allowing everybody else to start doing something. When I look at these situations, fast forward to him now, finesse two of them. Him being able to say the disrespectful, and I'm saying mentioning the disrespect of finesse 2 times with the great MLK that has actually died and put his blood, sweat, and tears to us being able to have an opportunity or a seat at the table. I got a problem with that. He don't give a fuck. Nah, it's fuck Martin Luther King. Nah, nigga, it's fuck you. And it's time that we start checking these type of people for saying the dumb shit that they say. See, but the thing is, it's one major problem with this. It's a major problem when you got certain people that are hanging around these type of individuals that are scared to say something because they don't want to fuck up the money. Nah, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn how cool you is. Don't ever get that comfortable in disrespecting the people that paved the way for me. I'll never forget that. And it's people like him, and it's people like Nicki Minaj, and it's people like DJ Academics that feel comfortable. And guess what? She's not from here either. And what I take as a total fucking disrespect is he from Memphis. You're supposed to be safeguarding the people that have paved the way, the legends, the GOATs, the OGs that gave us the understanding of do for self, the understanding of, hey, man, we are more than just a color. We're actually people that thrive. We actually have intellect. We do have intellectual capabilities of creating and creating value within this world when we were already recognized at a third of a person. Nah, nigga, fuck up. Nah, fuck MLK. No, nigga, fuck you. And it should be somebody to pull him to the side to say, hey, bro, chill out. But when you allow these type of fuck niggas to say what they say, then guess what? Everybody feels that everything else is okay. When we gonna start drawing the line in the sand on these goofball ass niggas like this? When? Because these niggas couldn't be around me. Because I guarantee you, if a nigga had something to say and on a disrespectful level, man, let me tell you something. Y'all would have to jump me because I'm gonna still snuff your ass. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to have a foundation of respect for ourselves. And when you allow disrespect, you're going to get disrespected. And it's only a matter of time before a motherfucker get comfortable to do it to you. So as far as I'm concerned, man, we not taking no disrespect for the OGs that done paved the way, the Huey P. Newtons, the Fred Hamptons, these people that have done the things that they've done so that you could talk and speak freely the way that you do, but then you want to turn and say some negative things about the people that paved the way. Man, I'm not fucking with nobody like that. And you shouldn't either, just because they got a little bit of bread. That shows you that your integrity is in a dollar. And I definitely ain't fucking with nobody like that. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I can stand on what I say, and I say what I say. And if you got a problem with it, oh, well, go fuck yourself. That's just me being real. And you know why? Because I got to stand up for our OGs. If nobody else going to do it, if you're going to stay silent, because guess what? Even Martin Luther King said, if you allow certain things to be happening in front of you and you don't say nothing, you just as a part of the problem too. But let's move on. Let's talk about this other situation. This one right here. This is the one that really got me.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
How do we get more black women to be just like you with the natural hair?
I don't know. Black women accept your hair. Exactly. You
said,
can wear anything. I said black women are very diverse, so we can wear whatever we want. We don't always have to wear natural. We don't always have to wear straight. Exactly. Like, we can do whatever we want with our hair.
The interesting thing is that I wasn't even talking to this girl. I was talking to the one with the natural hair. But every time I go up to a girl and I compliment her natural hair, the girls around her that are wearing the fake hair, I feel like they get jealous. And this is why she will be the one to kind of debate with me. Not even the one with the natural hair. It will be her because she is simply jealous. I didn't compliment her, but I complimented her friend with the natural hair.
I want to break this down. Normally, when people are having conversations, you got to be self-aware. And I want to bring this up about black fatigue too. Sometimes when we're having conversations and the vibe is high and intellectual, it's always somebody else that wants to bring the vibe and bring the attention on them. He made a compliment and he made an interesting perspective. And I really want to break this down of him talking about her being in her natural essence and her natural being, which was attractive to him. Now, make no mistake. Some people are attracted to others. But in this case, he was attracted to who he was attracted to, and he gave her a nice compliment. But we also must understand that there are other individuals who seek and want to garner attention, especially on this high vibrational conversation that he was having. Now, watch this. Nobody was even talking to her. He was talking to that young lady, and the vibe was good. But then I want to show you how powerful that things happen from a psychology standpoint. There's a thing, and I want to bring this up. And I want you to understand how this thing works. The chameleon effect, the unconscious automatic mimicry of another person's postures, gestures, facial expressions, mannerisms, functioning to increase social rapport and empathy, right? I want you to understand the chameleon effect was when she was finding her own element till that other young lady came over and said, oh, we could do whatever we want. You don't think we men know that? But we were talking about something completely different, and she shifted that conversation. And then you can see in an instance as she agreed with her, that shifted everything. Just her alone coming into the conversation about them, just her being in her natural essence, shifted it to her and her belief system. This is why you have to watch out for certain individuals. That's why I'm big on, if I'm having a conversation privately with somebody, I don't give a damn how close you feel that you are to me. If I'm having a conversation, you need to step off and you need to step on and you need to get on and mind your own damn business. And I'm going to say this. It's a lot of people that were interrupting conversations as kids when grown folks was talking. I'm going to tell y'all a story of what happened to me, man. So y'all can understand how I moved the way that I moved. One day, I'm at the Dollar Tree. I'm getting my stuff. Now, mind you, I'm getting ready to walk in line. I have the right of way. So as I'm going, I'm getting ready to walk. The lady damn near clips me and pushes me out the way to get in front of me. So what I did was I said, excuse me, hello, I'm here. What's up? Da, 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 da. So look, that happens. I check her. I said, hey, hold up, man. You know what I'm saying? Didn't you not see me here? Well, you need to hurry up and go. I said, I don't need to do a goddamn thing, but mind my own business as I was walking up here before you rudely came up and damn near pushed me out the way. So then by then, she gets and wants to get into a back and forth. I say, hey, man, I ain't worried about what you talking about. This is about me and what I got going on. And you was very rude. So then here comes a good Samaritan, aka a Karen, walks up trying to assess the situation. You know what I told her? I told her to mind her motherfucking business. I told her to mind her motherfucking business because she didn't even know what was going on. And by then, she was so embarrassed, she walked her goofy ass off. Then by then, here comes the manager. What's going on? What's going on? He assesses the situation and automatically thinks that it's me. I said, I'm the one that was wronged here. I'm the one that had the situation going on that happened to me. You don't come up and you don't ask nobody nothing. So he proceeded to say what he was going to say. And I said, hey, man, you don't know. I said, what you going to do? I said, what you going to do about it? I'm the one that was in the right. He goes and says that I'm going to call the cops. And I said, and tell them what? I said, because men lie and women lie, but that camera not. And you know what I proceeded to say? Well, guess what? If you want to have a problem with it, why don't we step outside? Because it seems like you walking up on me like you want to do something. See, the thing is, I'm not waiting for the offense. I'm not waiting for the defense. I play offense. See, I would have snuffed his ass right then and there. But he knew exactly what time it was and he backed his ass up. And guess what I did? I still bagged my stuff up. I still bought my stuff and I still walked up out of there like I was supposed to. Man, I'm telling you the truth. You got to start moving like this. You got to understand that there are people that are on the outside that don't give a damn about your existence. So you have to hold your head high and you have to move in such a way that's as a respectable person to make people understand that you ain't to be played with and can't nobody just walk all over you. That's what I had to establish. I had to establish dominance and I had to establish order. And I didn't give a fuck whoever had a problem with it. Because guess what? At the end of the day, nobody stepped to me. Nobody had a problem after what I did either. And you have to do that because there are certain individuals that will get in your business and try to sway certain things just because they feel like they in the right. Nah, we don't do that where I'm from. Hey man, we assert exactly what's going on and we're gonna tell the truth and we're gonna leave it at that. And if anybody else got a problem with it and want to take it further, then so be it. That's what it's all about, being a human being, being able to stand up for yourself, to be able to articulate yourself in such a way. Because guess what? When they get disrespectful, it's time for you to get double time disrespectful. And you got to take it there. But nonetheless, it was a learned lesson. Did they learn? Absolutely. At the end of the day, not to fuck with me. Oh yeah, man. Listen to me. We have so much to talk about tonight, and I really want to get into this part two. I really want to say this, and this is the truth. The reason why I'm talking about black fatigue is because I really want to get into this high vibrational part of the conversation. Your last name is supposed to mean something. The meaning of your last name is supposed to be valuable. And I asked the question, what's the net worth of your last name? What's the net worth? And the reason why I'm saying this is because I can name several names that are powerful, several names that are in control, and several names that have been established in legacy. I know you've heard of the Bill Gates of the world. I know you've heard of the Elon Musks. I know you heard of the Jeff Bezos. And I know you've heard of the Bilderbergs. But there's another name that I often mention amongst my friends that I talk about. But there's one that I can use as in modern day as far as example. The Patel last name. The Patel name stretches a lot across the United States of America. They're in hospitality hotels. They're in the liquor business. They're in the restaurant business. They're into the real estate business. Man, their last name means something. Their last name is valuable because they've created a foundation of their offspring to say, hey, we're going into these sectors. Hey, we're going to dominate in these sectors, not just go into those sectors, but dominate and thrive in those sectors. And I want you to understand something. Make your last name valuable. Do not make your last name to where it's negative and then it's seen negative all over the United States of America, to where people don't even respect your last name. Your last name is supposed to mean something. I learned this way back in the day. My grandmother, may she rest her soul, she said, you can make or break yourself, but you got a choice to make yourself. You got a choice to break yourself. And this is the key ingredient to it. It's going to be by your work ethic. That's what it was. And you're talking from a lady that was born into the Depression. What you going to do with yourself? What you going to do with your last name? What is going to be the determining factor of your last name through your lineage, your offspring? What is the value that they're going to bring for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Are they going to transcend this your last name into the upper echelon? Or are you going to regress and be 20, 30 steps back into poverty? That's why it's important for us to understand this, and to understand that even with people like this, and I'm going to bring this up because I think that when we don't understand the power of what we're supposed to obtain, then we're always going to be behind the 8 ball in the process. And I want to bring this up. I want y'all to check this out.
Going out to eat in 2026 is just seeing which restaurant can heat up Cisco the best.
Here's the question behind this test. Are we trapped into eating the same mediocre food from New York to Alaska? And if so, why? And who's behind it?
With restaurant traffic declining, cost-cutting becomes the logical next step. Distributors like Cisco are the perfect ones to do it, especially because they have a shady track record sourcing seafood processed using forced and slave labor in third world countries. Simply put, they have become too big to fail, serving 730,000 locations and raking in over $80 billion a year. Craziest part is Cisco actually tried to acquire US Foods, the second biggest distributor in the world. While this transaction was blocked, the implications would have been a devastating control of 3/4 of the national market for one-stop food service distributor. But peel it back another layer. Who owns Cisco? Could it be institutional investors like BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street? This is what happens when essential food infrastructure is financialized and consolidated. We get homogenized food that loses what makes it special. We need to instead rely on our local communities to preserve historic flavor. Going out to eat in 2026 is just seeing which restaurant can heat up Cisco the.
And I want to say something about that too. You see the mindset of being able to look at life and look at really the socioeconomic status from a different standpoint. Look at Cisco, who dominates across the United States, because I see those Cisco trucks. And I've been hearing about Cisco since I went to church with Reverend Simonton, may he rest his soul, who worked for Cisco. I've been hearing about Cisco a very long time and how they've asserted their dominance all across the United States, to where they're supplying all your favorite places that you like to eat. But it's funny and interesting at how they're covering the cost and carrying the cost of dominating across the United States, but you still have these restaurants closing. Just like we just seen Grand Lux closing its doors, I believe, yesterday for the very last time. And look at and I want to show you the difference in the culture mindset of this. It's mighty funny that we can sit there and say on a first date of getting to know somebody that these restaurants aren't acceptable, right? When we see these restaurants closing at a rapid pace that we've never seen before. And then my question is this: where are you going to take somebody if these aren't the restaurants you go to? Eventually, if the places that are reasonable in price, you'll be able to take somebody somewhere. So what the hell you think is going to happen in the next couple of years when these other places aren't affordable? See, they thinking on a whole completely different frequency. And the reason you got to think like this is because they're looking at the money part. They're looking at the scarcity part. They're looking at the control part. While we're just trying to wine and dine and spend and consume, which Dr. Amos Wilson talked about us, we cannot consume our way out of being in this freedom that we call ourselves or wanting to be in. These people are closing their doors at a rapid rate. So when you say that I don't take no Grand Lux, I don't want no Cheesecake Factory, I can't go here, but you want to go to the most expensive places, these are the same expensive places that Cisco frequent. Cisco was going from State 48 also to Grand Lux. They're going from Olive Garden to any of these other places. So what's the difference? You're only paying for the name. See, we got to start thinking different. See what I'm saying? And for them to be able to sit down and think about this, that means that they've done the due diligence of the research. They've done all of these type of things for them to value themselves and to value their dollars. You're supposed to be making adjustments. You're not supposed to be spending the same way you did in your 20s and 30s, the same way in your 40s and 50s. It does not work like that. You have to understand the socio-economic climate that we're in and how we're being dominated and being duped at the same time. That's important. Let me break this down and let me go into some more things that are in depth that you don't know about. Y'all check this out.
Section 8, people don't know this. Section 8 has a program where instead of paying your rent they'll pay a mortgage. Now,
the government will pay you Section 8 in your own house?
Your own house.
They'll pay you your rent in your own house that you bought.
They pay your... No. They pay the mortgage. It's not the money that does
That means instead of the government paying $2,300 for you to be in Section 8, they'll pay your mortgage.
They pay a mortgage. So basically they pay your house because eventually...
You're going to own it. The government doesn't own doesn't own the title.
No, it's your house.
Sounds like the biggest...
Now, before you reach out to me for this, I have no idea about it. Like, this is public information.
There's no idea.
Google it, ChatGPT it, Gemini it. What else is out there? Grok it.
And it could be 100% legal.
Do you see what I'm talking about? While we're trying to consume our way, they're actually on a whole different frequency. They're already obtaining and creating laws for themselves so that they could be advantageous of it. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say the fatigue part of where we should not be thinking the way that we're thinking. Basically, all the way moved from the 1970s to 2026, we should be in a completely different frequency. This man just said that the government will pay their house just like they're paying Section 8. Now, I want to take it back to when Donald Sterling, you already know who I'm talking about. Donald Sterling did a interview one-on-one with Anderson Cooper, and he specifically said this, and it really, really got me to thinking. I caught everything that he said in that situation. He said that they could actually give their fellow people, we already know who they are, we could give them a loan at the lowest percentage rate to open up a business. Say, for instance, the business does not thrive, right? So what they do is locally, they support the business until it can get on its feet. Let's just say the business does not get on its feet. The business fails. The loan that they took from them at the lowest rate, they do not have to pay it back. If you think I'm lying for a second, go check out that CNN interview with Anderson Cooper, where he breaks this down to the T. Now, my question is, what kind of money do they have to where they can finance to where you don't have to pay a loan back? That's what I'm talking about. That they've become uncompromising and relentless about them achieving wealth, power, influence, and real estate all across the land. You just heard me say about your last name. Donald Sterling's last name means something. Now, no matter what he did, but I did pay attention to what he said. That was a secret that he unlocked about his culture and his way of life. My question is in 2026, to Black culture, where is our way of life that same way? Can we obtain it that same way? And if we do get to a point of where we are that way, what are we going to do with it? That's my question. You heard this man talk about them creating laws and having things to where they go in their favor. Why must we keep thinking that voting is going to be the way? No, lobbying and putting your dollar where your mouth is, and not spending it everywhere else, where Dr. Amos Wilson talks about us funding everybody else's paradise, funding everybody else's financial freedom, funding all of the things that are important, that are supposed to be important to us. We're giving it to everybody else. The This is an amazing culture that we're living in. That's why I said, what would Malcolm X be thinking in Black Fatigue in 2026? I'm bringing this information to you because there is nobody in the media talking about this type of stuff. But I want you to hear this out. And this is a trip too. Y'all check this out. This was a trip.
And actually, my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots and AI that they will actually saturate all human needs. Meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. Like there will be such an abundance of goods and services because my prediction is that there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect, But, I mean, it is a necessary. Like you can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all.
And then the big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for?
I'm going to stop it right there. I told y'all before the pandemic of what was coming and how basically, and it started from self-checkout. I said they're already going to start preparing people to start doing things differently. And when I said about that, and I posted it, I've actually taken it off since. I said that AI was coming, but we didn't understand that we were being prepared for it. And then when the pandemic hit, it changed and it sped up the process even more so. So even right now, and shout out to all my longshoresmen out there in Alabama. I got to send some special shout out Eric the longshoresman, of how even the governor signed off on them to bring AI in. That the world is changing and evolving. And one of the things that was spoken up on this 60 Minutes interview about 40% of the world being without work, what is that going to say to the social fabric of society? Who's going to be in control of what? And it made me very interested in seeing what the social dynamic and the value of what every culture is going to be on this planet. Dr. Amos Wilson said this. He said, it's not going to be any racism involved as much as your services are no longer needed, because guess what? They're in control of what? The AI. They're in control of the robots. They're in control of all the goods and services. So at the end of the day, you're no longer going to be needed. But I stepped in and thought about this and stepped up 10 steps ahead of the game. I already started taking A+ classes in network and IT services. Maersk is one of the ones that you see when you see those shipping containers come in. I'm going to be taking those particular classes to be able to use and use my expertise and my skills. So when, guess what? Anytime they roll the AI out, I'm going to still be out there and I'm going to still be able to show my value. And I'm talking to the young brothers. You have to evolve. You have to change with the times. You have to be computer proficient. You have to understand your verbiage and different things that are going to change over the next 10 to 15 years. You have to understand the social climate, the economic climate that we're going to be in and going into certain job sectors, not just for yourself, but for your offspring. You have to understand that the job sectors are changing right now as we speak. And you ain't got time to be playing and trying to have what you call escapism when you know that your legacy is on the line with your children. My daughter is talking about going into computer engineering. And guess what? Best believe I'm looking at classes to put her in this summer. Real talk. This is how serious this is. And I'm talking to the young men, if we're going to push the culture forward, if we're going to be in the next level of where we're supposed to be, that means that we're going to have to start now in 2026 and work like we've never worked before, make the sacrifices that we've never made before, and be able to understand that we have to be uncompromising about our power, our leverage, and definitely about our dollars. This man is talking because they're already projecting. See, these people do the numbers. We don't do the numbers. These people are looking at the landscape. We're not looking at the landscape. These people are actually sitting at these tables and they're conversing about the future when we're trying to survive for right now. Now, we're supposed to be able to maintain what we have so that we can start looking toward the future just like them. But are we just going to still continuously survive and then pretend that we thrive and pretend that we're accidental millionaires by buying the trinkets and the accoutrements and the accents of what looks rich as opposed to actually being rich and wealthy and comfortable, or even what you want to say financially stable? Listen up.
At least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
And we call this the metaverse.
What you guys do in here?
Pretty much everything that you would do in the real world.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Would constitute a new useless class. When I say that these are useless humans, it's not from the viewpoint of their mother, of the wife, of the son.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
First, we've got population. Now, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Forget the conspiracy. Listen to our government agencies. These guys are telling the truth. You know, there's no conspiracy here, folks. Just get your damn vaccine.
All right. Thank you, doctor.
And you see what I'm talking about? You see that these people are conspiring ahead of the game to really show us exactly what they're planning. It used to be hidden. Now they're just in open air with it. You got to understand culturally, and I'm talking to the young brothers and the young sisters, stop playing around and having a poor mindset. You're poor. Poor mindset, poor decision making, doom scrolling, smoking, drinking, doing all of these type of things that are non-conducive to your environment. I'm talking to you because these people are planning your demise. They're already writing you off as worthless human beings. These people are already ushering in a totally different, I'm talking about unconscious, no spirit, no heart type of consciousness into society. You have to be prepared. Yeah, you may have a heart, but they don't. But when they're in control, they can do whatever they want to do. Are you in control of your destiny? Are you in control of what you're going to do to combat this? Or are you just going to go along and get along, gang, and not even put up a fight or even try to transcend your last name, transcend your offspring into a next level that we've never seen in the last 20 generations? I challenge you. And the reason I challenge you is because this generation of what information that I have, I'm going to have to pass it down. It's being passed down to my daughter. But I must also realize that I'm just not a father to my daughter, but it's a lot of young brothers who don't have a father, that don't have any guidance, that don't have nobody that they can talk to, that I have to relay certain information on. But the problem, even in there, there's a wall up in there, and there's a wall called pride. But I want to be able to share this information and to let them know that, guess what? A dumb question is a dumb question that you don't ask. But we need people within our culture to be able to answer these tough questions, for them to understand that you cannot make no mistakes in the next 10 years, because it'll either transcend you by making the right decisions into the next level, or the bad decisions that you make that you think that you got time to recover from, it'll take you 20 years to recover from. The finances aren't there. And I want to talk to the culture right now, for the ones that are at the bottom, that are along with the people and pretending like they are with the people that are actually screwing people over. I'm talking about your people that were doing the prayer circles. I'm talking about your people that was doing the real estate scams. I'm talking about the people that was doing the CPN thing. I'm talking about the people that was doing all of this type of destructive shit and burning people at the same time that was trying to come up. But the people that were at the bottom along with you, you rather turn on them, because guess what? Here's the thing. The wealth gap is getting wider and wider. So you're not going to have access to these type of people that you could have finessed at one time. You're only doing it to the people that's down there at the bottom with you. And guess what? There's only going to be so many places that you can go. There's only going to be so many places that you can relocate to. You from going from Houston to Chicago, Chicago to Maine to California, to where your past runs up with you. If you think I'm lying, watch what I'm finna get ready to show you here.
Top 5 ways your phone can result in you getting a criminal charge. The location data on your phone is going to be available to the prosecution, which means if they want to see where you were at the time a crime was committed, they can go and ask the carrier for that information and they can ping your phone to the exact location. 2, deleted text recovery. Just because you deleted text on your phone does not mean that they were deleted. The carrier is going to have records of all of this, and it's going to be very easy for the prosecution to go ahead and get a subpoena in order to see those deleted texts. 3, photos with metadata. By taking that photo, we can find out where and when it was taken, because the data about the data is going to be stored in metadata. 4, search history. Your search history is going to be a key indicator into what your state of mind was at the time something occurred. So like I said in a previous video, if you're going to search something online, be very careful about what you put into that search bar, because that will be discoverable information. And 5, text screenshots. Just like group chats, just like searching something online, anything you text, people are going to take screenshots of it and they could give it over to the police.
I want to send a special shout out to Lil Duval when he actually was covering the case of Fulio and how that young lady was jotting and she was trying to put herself, she was trying to write down information that was going to possibly be influential for her to change the scenario on how the jury looked at the case behind Fulio's death. And it got to a point to where they showed the time, the place, the ping, the cash apps, and everything in direct of showing you of how they're sewing these things up. You know why I'm not guessing my way through it? And I'm gonna say this, and I don't know why. See, this is how I know this is real. But what I'm about to tell you, this is real, and I really want you to see exactly what I'm talking about. And this is a trip. I really want you to see exactly what I'm talking about, because this right here is gonna flip you out. This is gonna flip you out completely. This is gonna flip you out completely. This right here. See, Meta was already working, and they were already doing the due diligence of checking out certain things in certain sectors of them being able to have what you call is a meta world. The meta world is something that was beneficial to the people that were actually rich. And when I say rich, meaning they'll be able to go into these meta worlds specifically, and then what they'll be able to do is make transactions. They'll be able to see each other's face. They'll be able to match data. They'll be able to match ACHs and different things like that. And guess what? That will keep it to where people won't be able to steal. It'll keep it to where people won't be able to recognize certain routing numbers and different things like that, because Meta is offering this type of information to the elite so that you won't even stand a chance of being able to steal something. That's how serious this thing is. And the reason why you got to understand how serious this thing is because for the simple fact that most people think that, oh, I can just come in and type in and do it, whatever. This man is giving you a blueprint of every transactional moment from your phone, and not just from your phone, but from your laptop too. See, all of these things are being implemented for them to keep the crime rate down as far as scamming. See, all what you don't understand is this: most of the people that get caught scamming, they go to work for the government. Yeah. Most of you people that actually go and get caught up in these criminal activities, they actually go and work for the government. They show them exactly how they do stuff. They walk them through it. I'm talking about walk through it. Fine tooth nail comb. They walk everybody through it, and they make sure that they cover all bases. They're writing these things down, the time that they did it, how they did it, in which manner they did it, what was the location of when they did it, how much was it. They walk them through this just so that they can escape jail time. And they're now working right now for the government in these job sectors. They are monitoring right now on Meta. They are monitoring right now on YouTube. They are monitoring right now on Facebook. Let me blow your mind. Watch this. Y'all don't even know that Facebook allows scams right now on its platform. Y'all didn't know that. They actually do. And the reason why is because they're trying to figure out who's who, what's what, so that when they get ready to pull the plug, all of it will be shut down. And the reason why I can say that is because I just don't guess my way through it. I worked for them. I worked for them. And that right there opened my eyes and opened my mindset to a whole completely different thing. And the reason you must understand the significance of it is because they're bringing everybody from a third party standpoint into this meta world. There are multi-billion dollars being passed through these how can I say it? Through these devices. So you must understand that they are doing any and everything to assure that when these millions and billions of dollars get passed around, there's no way for you to be able to infiltrate it. And for him to be able to tell you about the information that's being relied upon through him, you can only imagine if he's telling you that from a lawyer standpoint, you can only imagine the CIA, the FBI, and everybody else that has real access to these type of things, the military, so forth and so on. You're not going to be able to do anything. You heard me say this earlier. They're closing the gap to where you're not even going to have access to the rich. You're just going to be stuck in this digital world to where you're not going to be able to even improve yourself. You're just going to be stagnated. And it's not going to be by choice. It's going to be by force. So you got to start wisening up. You got to start understanding that you need to, the time is now. Stop playing. Stop playing with your life. Stop playing and thinking that everything is cool and honky-dory and you got time to mess up. You don't. You don't. These people are closing the gap day by day. It's shrinking in. So I'd advise you to step it up. Grind as much as you can. Do whatever it takes. Become uncompromisable about your hustle and your grind. Because sooner or later, when that gap closes, Dr. Amos Wilson told you, your services are going to no longer be needed. This last one that I want to talk about, man, and it's a trip, but it's educational, but I really want you to tap in and I really want you to see exactly what I was talking about. And this slam dunks at home.
Through our habits of consumption, we actually finance our oppression. Yes. We enrich our oppressors, increase their wealth, increase their power. And we create and maintain within ourselves a consciousness that maintains our oppression. We are so caught up in the consciousness of consumerism that we commit violence against one another in order to engage in consumer behavior. We sell poison to our children. We corrupt our communities. We disinvest the wealth of our communities. And we think that this is an expression of freedom. And this is an expression of wealth and status. And this means that we, since we consume equally to white folk, since we drive the same cars as white folk, live in the same houses, in the same neighborhood as white folk, we are the same as white folks. You are foolish. It is that very sameness that is maintaining the inequality. I was trying to explain to my class the other evening the confusion people have of equating sameness with equality. You want your children to have the same education as white children. Then if you do, you want them to stay oppressed. Yes. You don't want them to be educated in terms of their unique history. You don't want them to be educated in terms of their learning styles. You don't want them to be educated in terms of the problems they have to solve for themselves. You don't want them to be educated in terms of the reality of the fact that they are oppressed, not white children. No, you want them educated as if they were white children. That is the surest way to maintain oppression, to ignore one's reality and to be educated out of sync with one's reality. The black man today is being educated to solve white folks' problems and to get status when he solves their problem. Yes.
I'm gonna stop it right there. And the reason why I look at this thing called life a little bit different is because my grandfather worked for NASA. He created things that were patent up under NASA's name and trademark. Meaning, when you work for them and you create something, it is absorbed up under NASA's umbrella, the government's umbrella. Let me take you back all the way before him. Doris Miller, who I'm related to, the guy who shot down the planes in Pearl Harbor. I just think in where I'm at modern day of how I had one that was shooting down planes on behalf of America and on behalf of soldiers. Got one modern day creating things at NASA that got patented, that got absorbed into NASA's trade market. Only for those type of individuals to be great at what they were doing. And you still get mistreated to today. I got a problem with that. Rest in peace, both of them, who I'm related to. I got a problem with being able to do those things on behalf of America, but still get treated as a second-class citizen. For you to be able to accept the education and the intelligent part of it, but you still look at me at the bottom of the barrel. Dr. Amos Wilson talks about this, about having that consumerism mindset. That's why I'm telling you the things that I'm telling you, for us to understand that these things can no longer go on. Because like I said, the wealth gap is closing. And if you think for a second that what he said wasn't true, look at your social economic status now. And then if you can say, oh, well, I've made it and I've got myself comfortable, then you've already confused and fooled yourself. Because when you walk outside your door, you got to remember your children have to go into this society. And what is the most likely of them to be able to run into a degenerate, a person that don't give a damn, a person that's impoverished, that hasn't done nothing with their lives? If you've got a daughter and she links up with somebody who doesn't have anything of value, or a man that doesn't understand his value and what it's supposed to be in this society? What if your son hooks up with a female that doesn't understand her value and the mentality she's supposed to have to bring to a community to make it thrive and to make it better? Yeah, it's cool when your children are cool, but when you walk outside your door and you see 60 other degenerates running around, what's the most likely that they're going to run into them? Because you can't choose from the choices that you wish you had in front of you. You can only choose from the choices that you have in front of you. That's why I do these programs. This is why I actually adopted the mindset of Malcolm X in 2026 on exactly what's valuable and what's not valuable. If you're not understanding of how serious this socio-economic climate is finna be in the next 10 years, you're doing yourself a disservice, you're doing your family a disservice, and you definitely are gonna put your what you worked hard for the last 15 to 20 years, you're gonna set yourself back. You want to get real, you want to have a real conversation? Let's talk about the real reason why these people are being deported. It's because they've established a pipeline through our currency to their currency for them to be able to live comfortable. You got to understand right now, the mindset that has changed within cultures in America is to make money in America and go back to where they're from. Those people literally have transferred the American dollar into pesos and have thrived. They have a mindset. The people that I work with right now, they're not planning on retiring here in America. It's too expensive. This ain't from one person I've heard. This is from lots of people that I heard. And their goal is to make as much money as they can to retire, to live comfortably exactly where the countries they're from. Now, my question is, what are the African Americans going to do here in this country? And I have to give my hats off to them because they got a plan and they got a strategy. But my question is, what is your strategy? What is your strategy going to be in the next 10 to 15 years? Not just for yourself, but for your family. And the reason why I have to break this shit down is because this other thing that I wanted to talk about, which is of pure value, is this of understanding epigenetics. And I really want you to understand this. In the womb, your molecular structure adapts to the outside world. Hear me out when I say this. Meaning, whenever you were in the womb, all of these things could be accepted on the inside from your parental standpoint. Let me break it down for you. Meaning, when you're in the womb, your parents can teach you how to abuse substances. Your parents can teach you alcoholism through the womb. You inherited these traits from your parents. That's why it's so important when people say you start teaching the baby when the baby comes out and being born. No, you start teaching the baby within the womb. So if there's a chaotic environment for that child to be in, guess what? That baby is going to come out the same way. You wondering why that this child is having behavioral problems, start looking to the parents. That's why you got to understand that this socio-economic climate is so serious, even by the choices that you make with your significant other, male or female. I've had literally, listen to me, and I'm not trying to be funny. I've literally had girls try to throw their nose up at me and talk about me not qualifying to being a damn father. And you can sitting up here with 2 and 3 damn kids, and one of the kids, when you ask them their favorite color, they say 4. I'm going to give your children a whole damn different experience that they've ever had in their life. You know how I know this firsthand? Because anything that happens, my daughter calls me. She don't call nobody else. She calls me, as it should be. And we got to understand that when you start linking up with certain people, you really got to start checking their background. This ain't a disrespect to nobody, but understand that if you value your seed, who you planted in is going to tell the tall tale in the next 18 to 20 years. You can still think that this is a game, that they have so many wires to trip you up in child support court, in marriage court, alimony. You doing all of these things to try to get ahead in the game, and they got systems set up to trip you up and to put you 10 steps back. This thing called epigenetics is real because those things are based on science to keep you in the system. And I'm talking about epigenetics. I'm talking about bad habits. I'm talking about behavioral. I'm talking about mental illness are inherited through your DNA from your molecular structure. Search your family history. See if it's any paranoia or schizophrenic in there. Don't just take your word from your parents. Start doing the damn research. This is serious. And I want you to understand how epigenetic works. And I want to tell you and I want to show you something when I base that on Zach TV. And I'm talking about certain individuals that are thriving right now, that are the most weaseliest people that are in these certain sectors that we tend to pay attention to more than anything. This is how DNA molecular structure works. The sellouts that were on the plantation, the house niggas that gave up plans and secrets and locations for escaping slaves, the same ones that selling our black women and men out, that could actually change things right now in this modern day. They did it back then. They did it now. If you think I'm lying, look up William O'Neill. Look him up. That's the same man that sold out Fred Hampton. You don't think that it was people around that sold out Nat Turner? You don't think it was people out there that sold out Harriet Tubman? You don't think it was people that sold out modern day Martin Luther King? You don't think it was those same people that walked off that plantation that sold out Malcolm X? You don't think it's them same people that sold out Huey P. Newton? You don't think it's those same people that actually were sitting at the table with him, eating his food, when he was actually blessing them with information to take and transcend the culture to the next level? Where we were actually sitting there and then putting up our black fists, and now all of a sudden you don't see a black fist raised anywhere in America now in 2026. you don't see the power, then there's something wrong with you. Then you need to study your history. Then you need to understand exactly the power of which you come from, of how they're trying to take away Black history and all the things that are important or supposed to be important that ain't being taught. You know why? Because our young boys ain't getting a rite of passage through the information. That meant that all of us are either locked up, or we're too tired, or we're too beaten out by the world of us not being respected to even want to hand over the information. But I assure you, people like this and this individual who was one of the most powerful individuals of our time that we don't learn about within the school system. And I want to talk about him because he played an intricate part even in the South during post-Reconstruction. This man's name, Lucius D. Emerson. He was the first Black sheriff elected post-Reconstruction. And if you ever know about the Reconstruction, then you'll pretty much know exactly who he is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show you a picture of him. That gentleman right there. Let me give you a little bit of history, because obviously there are people that actually support the history and actually want to give a tale. See, in the American South back in the day, some stories ain't gonna be found in these history books because they want to keep it away. This right here is the story of a man that handed a badge in a time and a place where it was never meant for somebody like him to have in the first place. See, in the 1960s, the Ku Klux Klan terrorized Alabama. But when they challenged one of the first Black sheriffs in the Deep South, they made a fatal mistake. And the reason why they made a fatal mistake is because they didn't understand who he was and what he was about. And in his Blackness, he was uncompromising. After the KKK threatened him, a strange thing started happening in this county. Klansmen went missing. Lucius Emerson was born into the Jim Crow in Alabama, where the laws was a weapon used against Black citizens. The laws and everything was against him as an individual. But in Macon County in 1965, the Voting Rights Act opened the doors to a political power. And this is where I be telling you, you have to attack those sectors, because that's where the influence goes. He was an Army veteran. Lucius Emerson knew it was time for a change back then. And I'm going to show you about this change. In 1966, Emerson did the unthinkable. He was elected sheriff, the first Black sheriff in Alabama since the Reconstruction era. On the first day, every single deputy quit. That means that when he took office, everybody didn't believe in him and they turned his back on him. Now, you see what I'm talking about? When I tell you that certain rules go for certain folks, and even when you obtain certain levels of power, you're always being watched. And even if you do obtain that power, people don't even respect you enough to even harness that power and to care for that power. But guess what? Those white counterparts, those Ku Klux Klanmen that were a part of that sheriff department, they walked out on them. So you could actually see that power was to be abused in their eyes, but it was used in his eyes. But peep game though. On his first day, everybody quit, but he didn't flinch. He appointed his own people, which were also military veterans that were Black, and he got straight to work. I want you to understand something about this story. That this man, when he took office, the Ku Klux Klan put a $50,000 bounty on his head, expecting him to back down. He didn't. He just kept enforcing the law. And this is where history blurs the line, because people said that the whispers started, that the Klansmen started looking for trouble in Macon County, had a habit of disappearing. That was just a rumor. While there's no official records, the legend itself became a shield. And I want to show y'all exactly about power. While the legend grew, the real victory was in plain sight. He promised everybody. See, when they had the power, it was to abuse. But when he got the power, he promised fair and an impartial law enforcement equally across the board and treating everyone the same. Wasn't no big eyes, wasn't no little U's. He dismantled a biased system. The KKK's power, built on being above the law, crumbled. in that very place of where he was elected at. The community rewarded him not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times he got reelected in a 20-year career. But I'm going to ask y'all, did y'all even notice? What do you think is more powerful, the legend or the man who used the law to change history? I'm going to definitely be telling these stories because there are a lot of stories that I got in my bag that y'all not understanding the significance of what went on. Now, my question is, were these same stories passed down in Alabama just like the history of everybody else? I'm saying this, but I really want y'all to understand this. Lucius Amerson passed away in 1994. Today, a highway bears his name and his badge in a national museum. But I'm going to ask this question. So does it matter if the rumors are true? The legend served its purpose, but the real man was more impressive. He stared down hatred, not with violence, but with the unwavering power of his office, proving the best way to fight shadows is to bravely turn on the light. And he shed a lot of light on a different wave, because at the end of the day, even though that price was on his head, he still maintained and did what was right. This is why it's important to pass down these stories in this history, because it's supposed to give our young boys a rite of passage and a rite of empowerment that they may have not even had in their households. Remember, I told you, if your household is chaotic, everything else is going to be chaotic. And the reason why I hit home with this is because if you're too busy to pass down history, you are going to become history to where nobody talks about you. His last name still to this day ring bells, but it doesn't ring bells enough because we don't put the emphasis and the focus on Black history, because we let others dictate to us what's important, a part of our history. But I want us to take heed to this tonight. I want you to understand of why I take the approach that I take, because there is no media that is really getting into these type of things and addressing these elephants in the room, because everybody's scared to talk about it, because they don't want to lose their sponsorships or lose their funding. I don't give a fuck about none of that. If it needs to be talked about, it needs to be talked about. If it needs to be shared, then it needs to be shared. But I want to prepare y'all for what's coming. And I want y'all to be uncompromising about who y'all are as individuals, whether it's male or female. Because we need right now in this time, when this man talked about in 4 years about getting yourself financially stable, I'm thinking it's 10, but he's saying 4, that the currency, everybody's going to be basically digitally enslaved. And it made me think about this saying, and it was by a president. And this president holds and bears a lot to what is going on in this modern day. And I'm going to say this, and you might not agree with me, but this is the truth. He said this, James A. Garfield: he who controls the currency controls the nation. And like I told you, all of these people are seeking control and seeking power. What are you going to do? Are you just going to go along and get along with it? Or are you going to try to do things different? And the reason why I'm saying this is because transcending all the way since the civil rights movement till now, what has changed? What progress were we charting back then to what we wanted to see now? Is it what we wanted to see, or is it disappointing what we see now? Francis Cress Welsing gave us the blueprint to what it is currently in our social construct now. May she rest in power. Do your research, do your history. Understand who you are as an individual and value your time, value your energy, and make people respect your time and respect your energy. Because at the end of the day, you only got you, and who's going to take care of you more than you? If y'all want to come up here, by all means, like I told you, the link is in the chat. We can have these conversations. I don't be minding. Like I told you, you do not have to show your face. You can come up here, speak your piece. I'm always opening up to where we can have a high vibrational conversation, especially when it comes to stuff like that. And like I said, it's maybe about one or two people talking like this, especially in the media, just for us to get a foundation of where we're supposed to be. I want to say this too. I want y'all here in Houston that have been stuck in here, stuck in the house. If y'all are going to be stuck another day or whatever, I want you to evaluate where you are. And I want you to assess who your friends are. I want you to scroll through your phone. Who holds the value? Who's getting more of your time? Those people that you hold your time with, that you hold the most value to, are they holding you accountable? Are they putting value into you? Are they doing the due diligence of actually challenging you to become a better person? And if you are all complacent and comfortable, then I think it's time that we start pushing each other just a little bit farther. And like I say, if you want to come up, the link is in the chat by all means. Let's have an intelligent conversation. I'm all for it. But I also want to do this. I want to pay some bills. Listen, if you ever get a chance, I want y'all to tap in, go online to Ed Hennings CO. All ILA workers in the Houston area get $50 off with the product code for me, Rod the Pro. DM me or email me at that email below, and I'll definitely get you that product code. I've got about 2 pair that I'm about to order that are very comfortable. Listen to me. If you're in plumbing, if you're in construction or anything, 10-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, overnight shifts, whatever, cold, hot, man, these boots are super comfortable. Listen, they come highly recommended because I use them. I got my coworkers wearing them. Man, listen, one of the most comfortable boots out. It's the future of work boot. Listen, very comfortable, very light on your feet, and very protective. I'm talking about from the safety standpoint and everything. Y'all go over there to edhenningsco.com, grab you a pair. Listen to me. All you got to do is DM me or email me at that email address at the bottom, and I'm definitely going to get you the product code. Shout out to Ed Hennings, man, for doing great things, especially not just for the ILA workers, not just for the blue collar workers, but for the community too. Also, I want to send a special shout out to all the people that have rocked with me. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get y'all through this storm. It looks like everything is going to return to normal the next day, tomorrow. I hope y'all made it through. I hope y'all are safe. I hope y'all families are safe too. You know what I'm saying? Because Rod the Prod cares. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a hard ass, but I care about y'all too. And I want y'all to thrive as much as y'all possibly can. Those things that I brought up today, I want you to do your research on them. Epigenetics, also the chameleon effect. All of these things play an intricate part in the ways and the structure of how we do things. See how easily a person can become persuaded just by them saying something. Just look at the classism of a person. If they're higher than you, they'll listen to them, but you'll say the same thing, and it won't stick. But they'll say it, and then it becomes this newfound golden opportunity of wealth and education. Start paying attention. Start looking at your circle. See how reactive they are to positive versus the negative. See how reactive they are as far as using their brains, as opposed to just sitting there kicking it and drinking alcohol and doing all types of other shit. See if they influence you and challenge you to do something better. And it leads me to my point tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm introducing this, man. Become uncompromising about you and your destiny. Look at your inner circle. Look at them. Look at your close friends. Who are they? What are they? What value do they hold? What principles do they hold? What morals, values? What are the things that are most important to them? What are the things that they care about the most? Is it family or is it functions? Do they value their principles more or are they more partiers? I challenge you to do that. And if anybody is in your way about you and your destiny, then you need to remove them. And the reason why you need to remove them, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to take care of you and your family better than you. If you don't have the right person next to you, whether it's male or female, then it's time to start cutting your losses now. This is January. This is the first quarter. This is the first month of the year. If they're rolling the same bullshit from December all the way into a next year, then they don't need to be around you. I know it's easier said than done. I know it. You can love a person and you can care for a person, but you can also do that from a distance too, because sometimes that energy ain't matched. Energy matched to me ain't about me being able to do for you, and energy for me ain't being able to just to provide for you. But you also have to be my protector of my peace. You also understand that you must provide and protect the peace that I provide for you the same way. It's not an ego, it's how we go. This ain't a one-way street, it's a two-way street. Everything has to be reciprocated. And anybody that feels that you're beneath reciprocation, then you need to dead them on the spot. I've done that. It's people right now that don't even know they cut off. You know why? Because they weren't paying attention to me in the first place. But make sure that you become uncompromising about your greatness and who you are as a woman or a man. Because in order for our culture to get better, we got to look through the eyes like Malcolm did. We got to look through the eyes like Dr. Amos Wilson did, Dr. Claude Anderson, Francis Chris Wells, and John Henry Clark. All of these people that you probably don't even know who I'm talking about, but do your research on them. Start listening to some of their lectures. Start empowering yourself from this moment, from this episode. Share this with some people and understand that if we're ever going to make it, if we're ever going to thrive, then there's some bad habits and bullshit that got to go. And there's some things and there's some hard truths that we got to swallow to the point where we may have to choke on it in order for us to get better. You know what I'm saying? That's the Rob Report. Shout out to everybody tonight, man, for real. Just bringing a little bit of different element, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, if you want to come up here, man, I'm going to give y'all about a minute to come up here and vibe with me for a little while and whatnot. Man, these are so fun because I like to do these because there is really nobody that's just really getting down to the gritty about these type of situations. And I believe that where we are in our society, we need people like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the OGs, not necessarily just old, but I bring a different type of element. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to come up, man, listen, I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to put this up in the group chat. You know what I'm saying? In the comments section. If y'all want to comment, by all means, man, listen, let me know what y'all think of the show. Comment, do whatever, man. Drop some comments. I love to hear y'all opinion. But I want to say this. When y'all start y'all day tomorrow, I'm dead serious. I want you to start y'all day tomorrow and start looking at the people in your phone. Start looking at them. You know what I'm saying? Look at these people in your phone and start seeing if these people really mean as much as they value you. Look at these people. Do they call you? Are they dependent upon you to borrow something? Can you borrow something from them? Do you have a friend that you could borrow $500 from? Look at yourself. Do you even have enough money for $1,000 or a $2,000 emergency? If your child went down and needed to have surgery and you didn't have insurance, do you have $5,000-$6,000 laying around to where that you could actually help? Those are the things that we need to look at. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that we have to understand about ourselves when we're supposed to say that we're thriving. Yeah, we can afford to buy something, but can we afford a real life emergency? And if you're the only man or the only female that they could count on to having it, then I think we need to sit down at a birthday, at Thanksgiving, at Christmas, before we spend another goddamn dime, that everybody got to be on point. Everybody got to be on point. We cannot have it to where only one person in the damn family has it. No. You cannot solely become dependent upon this person. And the reason you can't do that is because guess where else? If the wolf is supposed to be saved within my family, why isn't it being saved in yours? We're supposed to be building, not taking away from to set us back. We're supposed to be moving forward. But I done dropped that in the comment section, man. I'm going to take a quick break, man. Y'all check out this artist. Listen to me. This artist is Cole. He's from Florida. Listen to me. His name is Trap Garlito. He got a fire song. I done already told him that he need to actually do a video for it. The song is called Running Man. The song is a vibe. Y'all check this out, and we'll come back in just a short moment. Check out Trap Garlito.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Rose under my feet. I'm gonna run these streets. Ghetto life we live. I'm gonna shut my business. They never feel my pain, but they know my name. Ooh, yeah. They gon' know my name. It's been so long. I'm trying to get right. Oh, it feel like I'm wrong. By the end of the night, I be all on my own. I ain't got a gun, I ain't running from a fight. I was locked down in the belly of the beast. I was just trying to make my way to the light. I had to make that bitch understand. I'm whipping shit with the other hand. Now bout some bad like a rubber band. When it come to money, do the running man. And she just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. Who 100? I don't want nothing, I just want some money, yeah. Some money. And she just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. And I don't want nothing, I just want some money, yeah. I made a game, jabbing shit, I'm getting one of them rain. Traumatized, no iconic pain. Dirty word, we coming back with a stain. I paid the cost, dirty game, I preferred the cross. Had to learn how to take me a loss. Put them on, now that made me a boss. And she just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. Who 100? And I don't want nothing, I just want some money. Rose under my feet, I'm gonna run these streets. Ghetto life we live, I'm gonna shut my business. They never feel my pain, but they know my name. Ooh, yeah. They gon' know my name. I was down bad, but I never went against the code. I had love for dog, I had to cut him off, I heard he told. I would've laid down when I did the time for the game. And these be the same clowns that be tryna put dirt on my name. Ain't nobody about no mention to me. I know how to get the bag out the streets. I know how to turn a 1 to a 3. I know how to turn your bitch to a freak. She just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. Who 100? I don't want nothing, I just want some money, yeah. Some money. She just wanna fuck with a nigga who 100, yeah. And I don't want nothing, I just want some money. Rose under my feet, I'm gonna run these streets. Ghetto life we live, I'm gonna shut my business. They never feel my pain, but they know my name. Ooh, yeah. They gon' know my name. I was down bad, but I never went against the code.
We back, man. Listen, salute to everybody, man. That's rocking with me tonight. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I enjoyed y'all tonight. You know, definitely got some things to do behind the scenes. Listen, I got an interview coming up, you know what I'm saying, with Shorty Rock of the YTC crew. Got to give him some love, you know what I'm saying? I got that coming up. You know what I'm saying? The real ones mess with me. One of the solid ones out of New York City that I created a bond and a friendship with. Much love and much respect to Shorty Rock. Also, Ears to Christ, another cat out of DC that was solid around the late 80s and 90s and whatnot. Even the early 80s, I'm going to say that too. A lot of people are fooling with the channel, man, because of the principles and the morals and values that I stand on. And I got to show them some love, man, because they from the other parts of the states, you know what I'm saying? They up north. I'm down south, you know what I mean? And for me to get that respect and for me to lay down the foundation that I'm doing, man, it's an honor and a pleasure. Shout out to them and salute to them. So yeah, definitely, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all for joining me tonight, man. I'd like to thank you all for joining tonight's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, listen, then come and join the conversation and comment down below. Show me the love. Show me something. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to know y'all perspectives on some of the talking points that I really give. So, well, we've come to an end. So tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we got a lot to yap about. Good night. And guess what? I'm going to be heading over to Instagram and whatnot. I'm going to do it after hours. Y'all want to chat. Y'all want to pop up. By all means, we can have a conversation, man. And before we go tonight, got my artist, definitely from H-Town, definitely doing his thing. He got a song that's super fire, super fire, super fire. The track is called One on One. Asteroid, take us out. We out.
One more time, baby.
Alright, now this feel like one of them ones. I ain't been with you and maybe that's why I'm acting up. Or it could be this liquor that's making us go and speak in tongues. But baby, I got this vision, you gotta see it, trust. I've been in rooms with Miss Mrs. before we grew in love. I ain't the super on station, but let me knock on wood. Cause I feel like that little engine who really said he could. From the stars to your hood, heart to heart, now we got it locked, guess it's understood. She said la vie, you a moment of time, that's more than me. Might just catch me and vibe and flow the keys. Girl, you sexy and fine, I wanna feast. Now tell me what's your favorite station. I'm trying to know all your ins and out, no infiltration. The way that you caught my eye just like a pin location. Never seen how to focus, never broke the patience. Management on my own, it's like I need a crisis. Baby, she ain't too long, I like to keep it patient. Baby, I'm still on and like a cheated dates.
So run it up, my love, you had me stuck like I have nowhere to go. And I really messed up, no bringing me down, I'm trapped in a rabbit's hole. So listen here, Alice, I want to enter your wonderland. And I'm wondering if you'll give me another chance to dance under the strobe lights and hold tight like a cold night.
Matter of warm vibes, brand love bites in a smooth ride. Just wanna go long ways, what's the wrong way? I ain't never need no side, it's always me and my music and this pretty bitty on my eyes.
Can I find the time and space to see my one true love? My pretty little mistress is a miracle from the one that's up above. Wait a minute, don't fuck this up. Kinda dizzy, I'm losing blood. Don't go like, what's the rush? Put it on me to make me hush. You the only one in this club that can make my black ass blush. Cause you know I got a crush. This my 7th can. Crush my piece of candy. Crush like what the fuck? Bittersweet feeling. Throwing up from lust. Don't get it.
One more time, baby.